It is Tarot Tag Thursday. So this is something I found on Instagram, and it was originally created by the amazing Sammie Menzo, and the amazing Katie Flowers actually also took part in this tag. I am resurrecting it, much like I'll do probably every Thursday. I am going to give you my take on #InsideOutTarot. I know recently Inside Out 2 came out, and so we'll be doing Inside Out 2 Tarot next week. But this week we're going to focus on all of the emotions found in Inside Out, and we are going to talk about tarot cards that I feel best represent those emotions. Maybe the standard definition for the card will apply, but sometimes that's not going to be the case. These, I have tried very, very hard to not use multiple cards from the same deck, but sometimes it was absolutely unavoidable. I went through all of my tarot decks and pulled out the cards that I thought best fit each of the categories. So let's get started. So first up, we have anger. I chose the 5 of Swords from the Modern Love Tarot. This is a deck by Ethany. And I felt like this definitely could also depict sadness, but this anger and just the pot boiling over, this entire deck is so expressive, and it's very easy to see that in a card like this, but you see anger here. Next up, we have the 5 of Wands. This is from the Pride Tarot. So there are some signs here that say silence equal death. There's a fist raised in the air. And as a proud member of the Alphabet Mafia, I think that sometimes righteous anger is super important and necessary. Finally, I chose the 5 of Swords from the Cozy Witch Tarot. And I love this card because it just shows how all 3 of them have different attitudes and they're taking different paths forward because they're angry with each other. Next, we have Disgust. I chose some interesting cards, and you'll see my take on them. The first one is from the Little Wizards Tarot, which is by Push Kitty. It is an independent deck. I chose Gilderoy Lockhart as the 7 of Swords, as he's sneaking out of the classroom when he's being asked to face the basilisk. There's so much disgust, especially when Ron is like, but the basilisk has my sister. What are you gonna do? And he's like, it's not my problem. Such disgust. The next one I have is from the Buffy Tarot. You're gonna see several of these in my videos just because this deck was so well done, and I'm a huge Buffy fan as well. This is when Spike was still a human and he was sort of chasing after all the girls in town, and everyone just thought he was like the worst. And he just kind of oozes this like gross sort of patheticness, and I just find it to be kind of disgusting personally. So for me, this card fit. And then the last one for this category is the Queen of Swords from the Modern Witch Tarot. To me, it just radiates that she's disgusted with whoever she's talking to. Like, her facial features, her body language to me just scream like disgust. Like, I'm fed up with your bullshit and I will hear no more of it. The next emotion is fear. First up, from a deck I backed on Kickstarter called the Paper Cut Tarot. This is the Devil card, and he is so freaking creepy. Then we have, of course, the true devil in maybe all of literature and, TV shows, Ramsay Bolton, because he absolutely was. He was a psychopath. And finally, we have another card from the Buffy Tarot. It is the Death card. And I don't know if there are any Buffy fans out there, but this episode of Buffy was one of the creepiest episodes. These 3 guys just like dragging through the town with their toes kind of across the ground. Nightmares. The next 3 cards just really scream joy to me. The first one is the Wizards Tarot, not to be confused with Little Wizards Tarot. This one's by Barbara Moore. It is just these 3 women in the 3 of Cups, and they are just having the best time. It just makes me think about great times with friends and family and loved ones, and just joy and celebration and happiness. Also by Push Kitty. This is from Little Buddha Tarot, and this is the star. And my girlfriend loves elephants. And I don't know, this card just makes me think of her every time I see it, and I absolutely adore it. It's an indie published deck. Hate the card stock, but the cards are so adorable. And if this card does not bring you joy, like, I do not know what's wrong with you. But look at these two of bulls. They're golden retrievers and they're hugging. They're hugging. I love them. So finally we have sadness. First, I have one more card from the Magic Dog Tarot. And if this one doesn't break your heart, like, look at this Basset Hound in the Five of Bowls. He's so sad. I love him so much. To me, Lightseer's Tarot, this card, there's almost no card, besides the last one I'm going to show you, that could properly depict the Three of Swords and its anguish and heartbreak like this card does. I mean, she's screaming and her heart's being ripped apart by all these threads and pulls, and she's tied up. It's very heartbreaking. Finally, we have our last Buffy card and our last card of this video. The Three of Swords also depicting one of the saddest moments in all of TV, when Buffy finds her mom and she had passed away. And this card is so heartbreaking. Like, it really defines sadness. And I cannot say enough how well this deck and the creators did making this deck, because every card just hits it. And if you are a fan of the show, I definitely highly recommend getting this tarot deck. But I can say that it's such a very well done deck, which is impressive because frankly I have several Insight Edition decks that are not so well done. Sorry. But, you know, I think when they're pippish and it just feels kind of lazy. That is all for this Tarot Tag Thursday, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week for Tarot Tag Thursday Inside Out 2.